Welcome to Technical Difficulties with Ruth and Danielle.
Absolutely. We love technology and hate it at the same time.
Yes.
It needs to be perfect all the time.
I have to say though, like we do sometimes have ridiculous expectations based on the magic that is our world today.
Yes. Yes. So I'm Danielle Tully.
And I'm Ruth Sheehan.
And this is Putting the Real in Real Estate.
We're with eXp Realty.
Absolutely. Oops.
Gotta say right. That. You just got to get that state requirement in there.
Yes. So it's been a while since we've done a market report. And since we are officially in the fall market, I thought it would be appropriate for us to focus on that a little bit. But we will go kind of back and forth on what has been happening overall. And you'll see what we talked about previously and then what's happened since then. So I will share my screen. And hopefully, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. Window, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I think I need to put us in this little, change our little thingy here. There we go. All right, there we go.
Well, there you go, but I can't see you, kind of like you did earlier today. Okay. Yes. Hold on, I got to get kind of two going at the same time. Okay. So you can't see me. Okay, so this time I kind of did a little bit. I found some interesting information. So I got Kendall County, I got Naperville, and I got Plano, and then the entire MLS. Usually I don't do Plano, but I thought that since Kendall County and the entire MLS seems so close together, I figured it would be good to see a third line, like kind of just see the differentiation. Yeah. So here we are. So this is over the last year. So last time we did this was a few months ago. So we were probably somewhere in this area. And overall, except for Naperville that had some peaks and some valleys there, we've been kind of consistent over the last few months, which is a good thing. That is a good thing, I believe. We still are in the, pluses for value going up. So as you see, the entire MLS it has seen a 5.6% increase in the last year. The Kendall County is 21%, closely followed by Plano at 14.9, almost 15%, and then Naperville 2.1. Now, it seems like those numbers are greatly affected by just the last month, but a lot of things could be playing in this. This is median, not average, so it always changes on, how many higher, how many lower have sold, but we did.
So this makes it look like prices have just dropped in Naperville.
Correct.
We're not seeing that at all.
That's not the case
at all. So
that's not the case.
First of all, we're looking always in the rearview mirror. This is lag data, so this is not where we are in the market right now. This is what the results of the last market are. So we saw a big, just kind of slow down in summer like we always do. This may also reflect prices selling at a different price point, like a different kind of house is selling at a greater rate than a house at a higher price point.
And I want to specify that this is resale only. I'm sure these figures, the kind of cool thing is that we can always make it kind of based on things. This is, what most people who own houses care about. Now, some buyers would like to know what new construction's going, but this is kind of where we want to reflect that. So that's, I'm sorry,
this is one snapshot, and we want to make sure that it's obvious that we chose some specific data. This is all single family homes. It's all property types, but it is resale. So we have not seen that precipitous price drop this is one of the pieces of data we would look at to kind of figure out where the market is going.
Correct.
Based on where it's been.
Correct. Yes. I mean, this could have been, again, this is single townhouses, condos. So it could have been extra amount of condos are sold opposed to 3,000 square foot single family homes.
Right.
So this is just kind of an aggregate of everything, but it still is good to show the health.
It's a great picture of what's going on.
And as we see, just kind of going over the last year, we've seen some ups and downs, and it really helps to kind of get an idea, because just overall, the MLS overall, is that kind of tells you the health of the area, and the fact that that's in a positive is great. And then we dig down into a little bit closer. So then that's where you get the Naperville, the Plano, and the Kendall County. And then, of course, if you really are serious and you really want to know more about, your exact house, then we would dig down even further to neighborhoods or school districts or what, the specific things that each of these segments kind of.
And then we always bring what we're actually experiencing. So for instance, I just had, I had a showing for a house this afternoon that went on the market the day before yesterday. I just got word that the showing is canceled. The house is under contract. So this is, what we're seeing and feeling is still very much a moving market, still very much a seller's market. One of the things that is hard to see here when you're looking at just price is how that's related to, the number of houses on the market. So if only a couple of houses are on the market and one closes, that's a much larger percentage of closed homes, right? In a market where there's lots of inventory, one single house sale doesn't have a big impact on things like price.
Correct. I'm going to slip over because you brought up market time. I'm going to check over the market time analysis here just to give it an idea. This is extremely low, as you can see. Again, some peaks and valleys, some here. But 2 years ago, year and a half ago, we were, at least double some of these numbers.
In the 3 month plus range.
Correct. Now we are at a month or less.
Yeah.
That definitely shows that we are still in that seller's market. We had talked, last time, I think, about seeing a little bit of a shift. We didn't say that was a change. It was just slowing down a little bit. And it was probably because it was a nice July and people were getting out.
Yeah.
But houses were still selling quickly. Maybe they weren't, there weren't a lot on the offer, market. Buyers took a pause for a moment, but there was still plenty to take their place. So it really didn't change too much. I mean, some of these, look at Plano, woof. They went from 92 days to 16.
Yeah.
In a month.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the year, it took just a little bit of time, and boom, they just started selling a lot hot cakes. There you go. I'll figure it out. So that's another indicator of that. We still have a strong one, market, in the summer and the spring, both kind of just kept going into each other and kept up. So 35 Plano in the entire MLS seemed to have the same, which is about 35 days on market. Kendall County 19 and Naperville 20. So that kind of goes into what Ruth was just saying. Just because we saw that dip in the one sales price did not mean that suddenly people were dropping their prices just to try to entice buyers. Buyers were coming in. They were excited about it and getting it. Now, I'm going to give one last one, if you don't mind, Ruth. I'm thinking the percentage of last list. Or actually, I'll do original. Okay, this one. So this is this is very helpful for buyers out there. we're looking at 100% on average, 100% of list price to close. So the entire MLS is 98.4.
Yeah.
Naperville is 99.1. So if a house is listed for $450,000, you're not coming in at 420 and getting it.
Or 430.
Or 430.
435.
440.
437.5.
Or 450 with 10,000 closing.
Yeah.
This is definitely showing that the prices are generally right now. And there's been times where I thought the prices were not right, but another buyer has showed me that that's not the case.
Right.
That we definitely, that right now it's about getting buyers the house that they need and that fits their needs and abilities, and not trying to get a deal.
Yeah. So if you're
not worried about the bottom line.
If you're a buyer that really wants a deal, we have some advice we always go back to. So first of all, you can buy an ugly house. You can buy a house that nobody else wants. That's the house you'll get a deal on. They still exist where a house is overpriced for condition. And if you're up for that, you can feel good about the value. You can realize what a deal you're still getting in interest rates. So where the interest rates are now can give you $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 more buying power for the same payment as you would have seen over the last couple of years at a different interest rate. Really overlooked. I mean, people say it all the time, but the impact of that interest rate can't be overstated. And the third thing you can do is wait. But if you wait, you're going to lose the deal you're getting on the interest, most likely. I mean, interest rates.
Correct.
We don't know when they're going to change, but they do change. They have changed. They're up.
They've snuck up just a tad.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that they're going to stay that way, that they won't go up or down or stay for a while there. But that is buying power.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you are someone who feels, and we have lots of different clients who are looking for different things, and there are people who just need to feel like they got good value for their money. And that's really hard to feel in a market like we've been in for a while. So we go back to those things. Those are your options. But hey, let's just try to get it for less.
Well, I mean,
what do we lose?
I mean, I understand the concern, right? I mean, we have to, when was the last time we saw this? About 15, 16 years ago. And what followed after? Something that's almost unprecedented for 100 years. So there's a lot of unprecedented for 100 years things going on right now.
Yeah.
But it's all the indications, like we've talked about before. There's so many different things that have changed between then and now that it's a healthy gain. It's a healthy increase.
Yeah, and all of the experts seem to say that this is demand driven. It's real. But the truth is, we don't know where it's going. We don't know what's going to happen. The question you need to ask yourself is, am I living in the right home? That's the best any of us can do.
Correct.
So, we told you in 2012 to buy a house and you didn't. Because nobody else was. Now everybody is. And that's scary. But if it's about your home instead of an investment portfolio, you're going to be okay.
That being said, the people who did buy in 2012 are the ones buying now and putting a ton of money down. Oh, yeah. And then, cutting out the people who have very little down.
Those who did listen are sitting pretty right now.
Yes.
In 2012. But it's not 2012 and you can't go back and we don't know where we're going. So we hear people who say, I'm going to sit around and wait for a crash. It might happen. Do you have any idea how hard it was to buy a house during the crash? It was really, really hard.
Correct.
You had to have 20% down payment. You had to have pristine credit. You had to have a huge debt to income ratio. It was not easy. Prices were cheap, but money was expensive and difficult.
Correct. Absolutely. So hopefully, if you have any questions, if you watched it live or watch it later on and you want to know more about a different town, a different county, wherever we can help you, we are.
Or just your specific property.
Yes, exactly. And we are definitely, well, they could be, they're looking to buy too.
Yeah.
But yes, sell, buy, whatever. We are.
I'm just saying we can get that specific. We can get down to
absolutely,
the address.
Yes. This is like we said, high, and then it goes low and up. Very close. So hopefully it was good information, and we will make sure that we will do that kind of on a more consistent basis, probably at least every new market there is.
Yeah.
So
and we can always do it for you. So
yeah, and we will do it all the time for you. Yes, exactly. So.
All right. So this is Putting the Real in Real Estate with Ruth and Danielle. See ya next week.
Yes. Bye-bye.